So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Andy Venables, who's kindly offered to tell his story on data and farming. Over to you, Andy.
Thank you, JP. Good morning, ladies and gents. So, as JP has said, he's asked me to share with you this morning my story and my career within data. And for me, I believe data, and more importantly, insights from data, is what is going to be a game changer for British farming. So with any good story, it's probably worth starting at the beginning. So there's me at the tender age of 5 or 6, trying my hand at a bit of herd management. I'm not too sure what she made of me. I then went on to a bit of calf rearing, and usually they say in farming, if you don't quite make it with the livestock, you're into the tools and the tractors. But judging by that photo there, I wasn't great at the engineering side of farming either. Where I was more at home, and I can't even say that's me, unfortunately I had to get my son to post. I was more at home in the farm office. For me, I was really passionate about the family farming business and looking at how we can grow and change that. And really digging into data to try and find those small marginal gains that's going to make a difference to our family business. And that's what led me to go to uni to study business and marketing. Now, before coming back to the family farm, I started working for a company called Bounty, which dealt with breeding of a slightly different nature. So Bounty have got representatives in 95% of the UK hospitals, giving away free products to new mothers. But more importantly, they're collecting mothers' data and signing them up to their parenting club. Now, given the amount of data that they have, it makes them very appealing to the likes of Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson, who want to run highly targeted marketing campaigns. I then went on to work over in Australia, working for Coles supermarket over there. And I was part of the team that launched their loyalty card. With any loyalty system, not only does that create a wealth of data for, in this case, the retailer, but also it allows us to put targeted offers to the consumer and increase footfall. You know, giving them offers on the products that they buy day in, day out is driving footfall through these stores. And latterly, I worked for a business for 6 years. It was a startup digital marketing business up in Manchester. As commercial director there, I feel the pivotal thing that allowed us to grow that business was through looking at the data and generating marketing strategies that are listening to what that data is telling us. So back in 2016, I tried my hand at being a model, but that didn't work. I came back to the family farming business, and the 10 years that I've had working with other businesses outside the sector, the key theme was all about getting better insight from data. So after I'd showed willing and done a bit of milking and tried my hand with the farming, I went straight back to the farm office to look at how I could dig into the data to really improve what we were doing on the family farm. So just to give you a little bit of detail about the family farm, we're 4th generation tenanted dairy farm up in Cheshire, farming around 500 acres, milking 300 cows plus our young stock, and operating an all year round calving system. We're selling circa 2.3 million litres to Muller on a co-op contract. And what I'm trying to do is embrace technology and use technology to make the farming business more efficient. I also run a rural marketing consultancy business, and I'm combining the two by allowing industries to bring products on farm and allow them to road test them and then help them promote them to the wider sector. So looking back in 2016 when I came back to the family farm, we already were investing in technology. So we've got cow collars with ID tags that allowed us to measure individual milk yields, allowed us to look at the heat monitoring. But when it came to the farm office, we had a PC that talked to the parlour. We had no Wi-Fi, and as you can see in that picture on the right-hand side, there was a lot of paperwork. I felt that our farm had a data problem. Not through the shortage of data, but the fact that we had so much data in so many shapes, sizes and guises. You know, whether that be paper, whether it be email, whether it be on an app, whether it be on a software, there was a mass of data. But for me, the problem is that there was so much duplication across all these different data sources and nothing talked to each other. So getting any insight from that data, you have to be copy and pasting data into an Excel and putting fancy pivot tables to give you any insight. Now, which average farmer wants to spend time putting pivot tables together to actually get any insight into their data? But what I do feel, I can say that our farm has a data problem, or there is a massive opportunity. And that opportunity came when I met a guy called Forbes Elworthy, who's the founder of Mapabag, later in the summer of 2016. He told me his story and what he'd been doing with a large number of farms in New Zealand through getting better insight from data. Effectively, what they were doing is reducing the inputs on farm and increasing outputs just through managing their data better. Not only did this really resonate with me, is he then went on to talk about his vision for the future, about connecting agriculture and not providing another piece of software or another app and adding more confusion to the farming industry, but providing a platform that brings everything together, allowing all of my data sources to be in one place to allow me to make better decisions on my farm. This is just a screenshot of the Mapabag's platform called Farm Office. And for me, what it does is it takes that complexity of all the data sources and makes it much simpler. So, those of you probably can't see, but this has got data feeds coming in from my milk producer to the milk recording that I've got, BCMS, all these different data sources that don't talk to each other, bring them together and allow us to start getting some real insight into the data. For me, not only having this all in one place is great, but it also allows me to share my data with my chosen agricultural professionals. So no longer is the ag professional going down the farm drive and paying him to spend half his time finding the data on farm. We can actually get some use from them and give me some feedback on what I should be doing over that time. So this is just a project that I'm currently involved in with Mapabag that is looking very much on the dairy side. And all those different sources of data are being pulled together into one place. So whether I'm on farm or off farm, I can really keep track on how the business is performing daily. So just to give a bit of an example of this graph here is looking at my daily milk production, which is the yellow line, against my forecast. Now, the contract that I'm on, I have to forecast quarterly. And if we just look at the summer of 2018 when we had the drought, so when I've submitted my forecast, I didn't really anticipate that it would be as dry as it was and I'd be having to buffer feed my animals. So in the June and July time, production was well below forecast. Not only was it well below forecast, but it was also well below 7.5% of our forecast. That for us incurs a deduction on our milk check. By having this data, it allowed me to see straight away when we were sort of hitting that slippery slope down past the 7.5%, and it allowed me to react to it. Through buffer feeding, we increased production and we got back on track to within our forecast deviation. therefore incurring no penalty on our milk chain. For me, I feel this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, I've also put boluses in all of my animals so I can start to track the health of that animal. I'm working with the guys at Map of Ag to measure my grass using satellite. I feel the future is really exciting through all these data sources, but bringing those data sources together to allow us to make better decisions. For me here, I've been involved in a lot of farming forums and groups and discussions, and the most progressive farmers are willing to share their data as long as there is a value add and they're going to get greater insight from that data. I just feel that the wider farmer population needs to take that leap of faith. They need to share their data, because through sharing their data they will make better decisions, they will farm more profitably, and at the end of the day they'll be able to spend more time doing what they love, and that is farming, not sat in the farm office. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully that gives you a bit of insight to my story and where I feel it is going in the future. Thank you very much.